morning. Okay, let's start this over. It's been rough already, but let's get some more energy. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's better. Now, if you'll stand and sing the congregation song with us, with some energy.
I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm loving this great life with my mind stayed on Spirit. Loving this great life with my mind stayed on Spirit. I'm loving this great life with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Oh, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
We gotta have an entrance. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Were you wondering, like, is the minister in the house today or what, right? Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Sheree Taylor-Jones. I'm the senior minister here, and I want to talk about the gala. We are having a gala here on October 30th. It's a masquerade theme, hence the mask. So some will dress up in costume. Graham and I are kind of plotting and figuring it out. I've even heard the board president might be in costume, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. So I'm here to invite you to this fun event. You know, when we deal with spirituality, sometimes we can get so like, gotta work, gotta work, gotta work. Part of spirituality is also having fun and playing together and connecting and being silly and being goofy. All of that. So I hope that you will join us on the 30th. There's more details that will come in the announcements, but we have the two for 50 tickets. Only 2 more weeks left on that. So if you're coming, I suggest hop on it, my friends. Don't be Unity, who comes at the last minute. Hop on it. So 2 for 50, and then the other thing that they're going to talk about later is if you have something that you'd like to auction, that you think is going to be an auction-worthy item, please, there's a form online, fill it out. There you are. Tammy is here today. Stand up, Tammy. She'll be out in the foyer, and she can give you details. For those of you online, the invitation stands. Come come and enjoy the energy that is this community where we do laugh and we have fun and we play. And thank you again for joining us as part of your spirituality, part of your spiritual journey. We appreciate that as well. All right, what else do I have going on? I've got about membership renewal. So membership renewal, we're doing that for the first time because, as Frank mentioned last week, we either have 300 or 4,000 members, depending on what database you use. So it's important for us to know who our membership is and how we can serve you. So towards the end of the week, the mailing is going to go out, so look for it next week. And it's going to have information, and all you have to do is fill out the bottom part of the form and send it back. If you don't want to do that, you can bring the form in. If you don't want to do that, there's a URL where you can just go online, click, 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 booyah, you're done. All right, so that's what's going on, and the deadline for that is October 30th. You see, so even if you forget, you can come to the gala and give us your membership renewal. See how all that works together? Okay, good. Next, please. Board nominations, it's that time again. Oh my goodness. So, if you've been here as a member for over a year and you participate, you share your tithes and talents with us, you go to classes with us, you're here at service, all of that, then you're eligible. You're eligible to be part of the board. So if you feel called to do that, there's a nomination form out there. You just fill it out, stick it in the box. If you want to nominate someone, go there, put their name on it, fill it out, stick it in the box. All right? And that's open until October 16th. And there's a little vetting process that goes through. And this year, the community gets to vote on their board members. Who's going to represent you on the board? So, can't wait to see. There are 4 seats that are going to be open this year. So that's a big deal for this community. All right. It's Grandparents' Day! Grandparents, stand up, let's love you up. If you're a grandparent, yes, 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 yes. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You matter. It's part of it's part of the joy. It's like parents are like rules and regs. Grandparents are like the joy and the fun. So you are vital to the well-being of our youth. And thank you for all that you do for these amazing lights that are coming up. So are you ready to pray in? All right. So our lovely Jennifer Chavez is a prayer chaplain. She's the office manager here. She's part of Higher Ground. It's like, what else can she do? So she's going to come up and do the opening prayer for us while Roderick does the beautiful sound bowl. So prepare for prayer.
To take a deep centering breath. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. Settle into the peace of divine presence. I give thanks for my opportunity to be the presence of the divine in the lives of others and for their presence of others in my life. As a unique expression of the divine, I am called to demonstrate the fullness of who I am. I'm grateful for the constant source of guidance, grace, and wisdom I receive as I process feelings and choose my thoughts, words, and actions. I'm grateful for the freedom to choose the highest good for every person in every situation. May I have the wisdom to go beyond my feelings, judgments, and criticisms to look for the truth. May I have the courage to be authentic and vulnerable in my connection with others. May I have the faith to accept what is with grace and calm and gently release what is not. May I have the love to be the presence of peace and acceptance. May I have the power to respond rather than react. May I have the kindness to see the needs of others in their words. May I have the willingness to release resentment so that love and compassion, that my heart can expand with love and compassion will be awakened in me. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. My name's David. We're so glad that you all are here. Just a few quick announcements to get started. First is regarding our new member class. Whether you're new to Unity Church of the Hills or you've been coming for a while, our Path to Discovery class, which is also our Path to Membership, is a 3-week series designed to enhance your understanding of our basic teachings. It's also designed to give you a better understanding of what we do here at Unity Church of the Hills. But most of all, it allows you to connect, which is important to us, and be in meaningful conversation with others and hopefully develop some friendships along the way. We will use the text, The 5 Principles by Reverend Ellen Davenport, as a guide. It's a wonderful book that I'm sure you'll enjoy. So you're invited to join us in person or on Zoom on October 10th, 17th, and 24th from 9 to 11 a.m. Hope to see you there. Next is our pet blessing ceremony. Our fur babies are a blessing to us. Now's your chance to bless them back. So Reverend Sheree, Saturday, October 1st at 9:30 out here on our beautiful patio, will bless and honor your pets. You'll receive a gift bag to commemorate you and your pet's special day. Join us for this wonderful event. And finally, our hands-on housing event is happening October 15th and 16th. Just to note, this was changed from the 8th and 9th. Now it's the 15th and 16th. So it's time to raise the roof with our I Act hands-on housing event. This is a fun event where many hands truly make fun and light work. We will work with volunteers from other area churches to paint an Austin home for those in our community who could use a little help. So please note the change again. This was the 8th and 9th, now it's the 15th and 16th. Visit our website for registration. And now for our vision statement, if you could all join. We are an ever-expanding community of love and acceptance where lives are transformed. Thank you. Thanks, Reggie.
I just need a little comfort. I just need a little time for myself to find, for myself to find. I just need a little love. I just need a little touch. I just need you now. I just need you now. Wrap your arms around me now. I'll look into your eyes. I'll show you what's real, what lies behind disguise. I'll put my trust in you, friend, and listen to your heart beating. We can let the whole world rest while you and I are dreaming. You and I are dreaming. for myself to find, for myself to find. I just need a little warmth, I just need a little tenderness, I just need you now, I just need you now.
Wrap your arms around me now, I'll look into your eyes, I'll show you what's real, what lies behind disguise. But I'll put my trust in you, friend, and listen to your heart beating. We can let the whole world rest while you and I are dreaming.
I just need a little sweetness, I just need a little warmth, oasis in your arms, oasis in your arms. I just need a little softness, I just need a little tenderness. Whisper to my heart, whisper to my heart. Wrap your arms around me now, I'll look into your eyes, I'll show you what's real, what lies behind disguise. I'll put my trust in you, friend, and listen to your heart beating. We can let the whole world rest while you and I are dreaming. You and I are dreaming.
Thank you, my love. Appreciate it. Thank you, Higher Ground. That was lovely. Really was. What a difference, right? Like, very cool. All right, so today we're talking about feelings. We are going to continue our journey on nonviolent communication, and we're going to take a little deeper dive into understanding our feelings. And then I'm going to answer the question, why are we talking about this? Why are we doing this work? What has it got to do with spirituality? So I'll be answering that question as well. But what I want to do first is I want to do a little review on what we've been doing. So how was it this week? How many of you have been practicing? Okay. Was it easier this week? Okay, yes. Did you find any ahas or yes? You want to share one maybe? No. All right. That's what I like. Audience participation and honesty. Okay. Well, you know what I found? My biggest shift this week was just a deeper appreciation for people. A deeper appreciation and gratitude for them, and then the ability to share that with them. And it just created this sense of vulnerability and openness that was just lovely. It was really beautiful. We also spoke about last week about looking at triggering our emotional triggers that we have. And why do we do this work? We do this work because it's very difficult for us to embody the language of kindness, the language of the giraffe, if we are emotionally triggered. Right? Because at that point, we can't hear anything or anyone. We're not even presently aware in that moment. So that's why we do this work on looking at our emotional triggers. And I shared this technique with you, which is called CALM, to help you process through that. And anyone work on triggers or have any emotional triggers this week? Thank you, James. Okay, thank you. And were you able to work through any process with this, CALM? Sometimes. That's honest. Okay, great. Well, you know, we teach what we need to learn, right? That's what they say. And so this week I had the opportunity to have an emotional triggering moment. And I was like, wow, lucky me. That's right, lucky me. And so it was really interesting because I'm just out and about minding my own business, or so I thought. And someone started yelling at me and blaming me as the cause of their feelings, the cause of their emotions. And it was really an amazing moment because I got to use the techniques that I've been using for years now in the current moment. It was like real time. It wasn't like going back and then coming forward. So I'm just here to tell you that these techniques work, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I went through. So, you know, I got to tell you, was I able to speak giraffe perfectly? No. No. Do I expect any of you to speak giraffe perfectly at this moment? No. We're learning together. But I was able to stop an emotional trigger from happening. And I gotta tell you, kudos, kudos, kudos. Oh, you're so fabulous. You're so fabulous. And it's a big deal. So the first thing I did is curiosity. Oh, that's an emotional triggering moment here. Huh. Is this a pattern? Does this happen often or frequently in my experiences? Yes, every time someone yells at me or criticizes me or blames me, that is an opportunity for a trigger for me. Oh, well, how did that come? Where did that get installed? Oh, in my childhood. That's where that got installed. And what I learned from that is, it's never gonna be enough. It's never gonna be good enough. Right? So that's the trigger. And I was able to acknowledge that in the past, I've got two ways of dealing with the trigger is either I blow up or I shut down, right? Depending on what level of survival that trigger has pushed me into. And in either case, the reason for the blow up or the shutdown is for me to protect myself, right? That's the reason that we do this. And then I got to do life affirming, you know? In that same moment, I was able to just breathe into that. And I gotta tell you what that breath does that we take for granted so much, it stops the amygdala hijack, right? It stops me from going into this survival mechanism. Do I fight, freeze, flight, flop, fawn? What do I do? So it stops that whole process from happening. So now instead of taking me away from this actual connection, right, now I'm present. Now I'm present. And in being present, I'm now able to engage. And I'm able to engage and go, my feelings are my responsibility, no one else's, right? I do not have to make this person into a monster. I don't have to get on the drama train of, how could they? Right? I don't have to do that. But I could see that there's a hidden need that they're trying to get met. Right? And in this way of trying to get their need met, this is what they've learned. This is how they've learned to operate to get their needs met. What does that do for me? Compassion, right? I'm now in compassion with that individual as opposed to being in resistance to that individual. And now I can say, why don't we talk again, and here's the date. Why don't we do it then? Are you available? Are you willing to do that? Very different outcome than if I was emotionally triggered. You with me? So I'm sharing my things with you to let you know that this stuff works. It works. Just keep practicing it over and over, and then it just becomes kind of automatic. I've been doing this for years, you know, and so it's taken me, I don't know, I want to tell you how many years to get into, oh, I can assess this and do this in the present time. Okay. The other thing that we spoke about was about heart coherence, being able to breathe in and through our heart space, right? So what does that do? It supports us in aligning. It supports us in our thinking, aligning with our hearts, softening. Do you hear the softening happening? Blending into the emotions, and now there's a totality, there's a wholeness. And now we're resonating in that frequency of love. And when we're in that frequency of love, We've got coherence going, yes, for ourselves, but now we have the ability to cohere with other people, right? Notice it's always starting with ourselves first before we're able to do that work with others. And last week we used the loving kindness meditation to support us in that coherence, and we'll practice that again today in meditation. All right. So now maybe some of you are still thinking, yeah, this is a workshop, Rev. Why are we talking about this at church? I'm here to do spiritual work. It's about spirituality. And yes, it is. And, my calling is about how do we deal with life on life's terms as spiritual human beings. And so I want to go back a little bit and tell you that our lives are filled with conditioned experiences. Conditioned experiences in where we are taught that certain feelings are not allowed and not of God, right? And anything that we deny or make wrong or make unacceptable is a separation from God. Did you hear that? Okay. So as children, we may have been told, big boys don't cry or feel pain or experience fear. We may have been told as girls that we're not allowed to be angry or confident or empowered. And all those experiences have come to define what we think about certain emotions. That there are these emotions over here are of God, and these emotions over here not. So if I'm a typical male, I am so dry. Can I bug you for water, please? Thanks. If I'm a typical male raised in our culture, it'd be easy for me to believe, right? Thank you. That strength and being powerful are godly attributes. I think they call it patriarchy. I'm just guessing. While as a typical female raised in our culture, I would believe that passivity and submission to patriarchal ruling is godly. And how do I get my needs met as a woman? Usually by manipulating, because I can't be empowered. And how do I get my needs met as a man? By overpowering, right? So I don't want you to leave here, go talk to your friends and go, Rev Sheree said all men are this and all women are that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this is our conditioning in our culture. And then it's up to us to do our own work to actualize into the truth of what we are. So with that understanding, we humans become indoctrinated to see certain emotions are acceptable of God, right? So my first order of business with you is to say that all emotions are of God. All emotions are of God. All of them are a blessing. All of them are a blessing. See, any emotion is for us. It's for us to learn. It's for us to grow. It's for us to rejoice in awakening our consciousness. All of that. And emotions are simply a reflection of met or unmet needs, right? And if our needs are met, our emotions tend to be on the lighter side. And when our needs are not met, they're denser, simple. Now, even those of us who come in here to Unity, where we think we are, and we try to be spiritual practitioners, but we come in with all of those indoctrinations, right? So we come in here and we think, okay, if I'm spiritual, that means I should only have these lighter type of emotions, right? And then we kind of hide those other emotions that we think are not of God in the fear of being perceived as not spiritual enough. So I'm here to remind you, all emotions are of spirit. All. So, how do we get clarity? We get clarity, is that going to stay? Yeah, okay. We get clarity by figuring out first what are emotions, then how do we share those emotions, and all the times that we think we're sharing emotions, we're actually sharing our thoughts. Yeah. Here's what Rosenberg says. A common confusion generated by the English language is our use of the word feel without actually expressing a feeling. In general, feelings are not being clearly expressed when the word feel is followed by, ready? These words. So, if we use that, like, as if after the word feel, we're not sharing a feeling. So, for example, I feel that you should know better. Yeah. Not a feeling, right? It's got evaluation, it's got judgment, it's got criticism on that. Not a feeling. If we're using the pronouns after the word feel, like I, you, he, she, they, it, once again, not really sharing a feeling, sharing a thought. One of them is, I feel I'm constantly on call. Where's the emotion? Where's the emotion there, right? Once again, it's a judgment that you've discerned about what you're going through. And then finally, the names or nouns, if that comes after people, after feeling, then you're sharing once again a thought. So I feel my boss is manipulative. Where's the feeling? Once again, it's a judgment, right? So we really want to be very clear on how we're sharing our emotions, how we're sharing our feelings. And if you have the book on page 44 and 45, great examples. And I have to tell you, from time to time, more frequently than I'd like to admit, I'm looking at the book and looking at the emotions and being able to articulate it, right? And this is not my first time with this material, and I've done other materials that are very similar to it. It's work. It really is work because we are not conditioned and trained to express our feelings. We're all intellectual. So on page 44, these are the emotions when we feel that our needs have been met, right? And we would label them in our human vernacular as positive or good emotions. But they're simply emotions that we feel because our need has been fulfilled, right? How do you feel when you've got a need met? Woohoo, yes, right? Joyous, content, satisfied, all of those feelings. And then on page 45, it's the emotions that are listed there are when we don't get our needs met. And we would call that negative or bad emotions. And in spirituality, in spiritual communities, we take that one step further and we judge that someone is not spiritual if they're feeling any of these emotions. Yeah? Yeah. That's called spiritual bypassing or spiritual malpractice. Just giving you the definitions, my friends. But here's the thing. If we reframe our knowing of the emotions, we'll no longer be in resistance to what they are. We can then start to be in love with all the emotions that we feel. Imagine being angry and being like, yeah, that's okay. I love you. I hear you're angry. Okay, what need is not met, right? That's a whole different thing than, oh my God, I'm angry. I shouldn't be angry. You know, I should know better. I didn't meditate enough today. You know what we do to ourselves, right? So I want you to give yourselves permission. Give yourselves permission to honor that all emotions are part of the human experience. And this is a way that we reclaim truth, right? So often we think we have to dissect, cut away, get rid of to become spiritual, to become enlightened, to become evolved in consciousness. But that's not what it is. What it is the re-knowing, the reclaiming. This is how we evolve our consciousness. Right? By becoming aware that our emotions are wonderful gifts from the universe. Because it's awakening to the reality of who we are. It lets us know, what am I passionate about? Right? What need is not being fulfilled that I am responsible for fulfilling, not somebody else. I am responsible for filling, right? And so this is a way to a greater freedom than we've ever known before, my friends. This is why we do the work that we do here. This is spiritual awakening. And you know my phrase, behold, we make all things new, right? This is spiritual resurrection. You know, we're waiting for the resurrection. This is it. Now, here. This is the thing that Jesus has been talking about. I'm referring to the book of John, chapter 3, verses 3 to 5. Jesus answered him, truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born anew, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Nicodemus said to him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born? Jesus answered, truly, truly, I say to you, unless one is born of water and spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. Resurrection. Okay, so you know whenever I use some sacred text, I've got to give you the context of that, right? So what is this? This is from the book of John. The book of John, the author is attributed to John. Most theologians say it's John the Apostle, the beloved apostle that wrote this. The purpose of him writing this book was to prove that Jesus was the Son of God and the Messiah. This was written about 85 to 95 AD. Now, I've shared with you previously that Jesus really didn't like the Pharisees, you know, the priests and the leaders of the Jewish people of that time. He thought they were hypocrites. But one of the folks that he did like was Nicodemus. I'll just call him Nick because we're on those kind of terms. And Jesus saw Nick as a scholar, a leader, and someone who got the spiritual teachings that Jesus was laying down. And they would converse in the middle of the night. And you're thinking, why are they talking in the middle of the night? Because it was dangerous for Nick to be seen hanging around or associating with Jesus. That was the time that they lived in. So they would just have these, like, you know, Socratic conversations at night. And here in the verse that I shared with you, Jesus is schooling Nick. You know, he's saying, just because you have the knowledge of my mission, of Jesus' mission, seeing the miracles performed as gifts from God, that's not enough. That is not enough. Nick, you got to be reborn. You got to be born again. So Jesus is saying to Nick, the only way to enter the kingdom of heaven is through a change in spirit. A change in spirit. What does that mean? Being born again means we begin anew. New aims, new passions, new purpose. To be reborn in divinity is having a life where we're communing with God. We're communing with the universe. And we are the manifestation and expression of that. That means we are love and light with whomever we engage in, whether we agree with them or not, simply because they are human, divine human, and there is only oneness. Not that I get passionate about this, my friends. Okay, take it down a notch. I went to John Sanford, and one of my favorite books is The Kingdom Within, and he adds some depth to this discussion. He says, while Jewish apocalyptists projected the kingdom of heaven into the future and saw it as a great event coming upon man from outside, Jesus saw that the kingdom of heaven begins within man and is initiated in the present time. It is also in the future because although it is here now as a potentiality influencing life, its realization is not complete. This is the resurrection, becoming the Christ. It's a reclaiming of knowing ourselves as we truly are, not as what our head thinks, not as what we've been conditioned to believe we are, but to be who we really are. Divinity in skin, the Christ. And the only way that we can access the Christ is in the present moment. So if we are continually emotionally hijacked, we're not in the present moment. We're constantly in the past. Got it? That's why we're doing, are we seeing the connections here, please? Yes. Thank you. Sanford also says this. This certainly implies that the kingdom is a present reality to be entered into by the individual when he achieves such a radical transformation of his character that it is represented under the image of rebirth. This is why I do ministry. I do ministry because I believe radical transformation is possible for each and every one of us. I believe it's possible for us to be the Christ. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad. And this is how I support you on the journey, by giving you tools, practical tools that you can use in your lives to support you in that transformation. So, you know who else believes in this? One of our co-founders, Charles Fillmore. In the book, Dynamics for Living, he says about the unity movement, we teach, and our doctrine is sustained by the teachings of Jesus, that rebirth is the unifying force of nature at work in its effect to restore man to its original estate. So this is not Rev Sheree going wild. No, right? This is just me supporting you in today's environment. Because spirituality, being the Christ, is not something that just happens here in this community on Sunday. And then you walk out of here like, I got it. I'm holy now. I'm enlightened, right? And then you go in the parking lot, somebody cuts you off, and you're already giving them the finger, right? No, this is the work to embody kindness, embody being the Christ. So I'm inviting you, allow all of your emotions, see them as the blessings that they are. And so this week, you're going to continue to work on the rest of you are going to continue the work of the language of kindness, the language of the giraffe, right? And then, commit to being renewed, commit to being the Christ, commit to being transformed. That's in the vision statement that you all said today, that this community believes in transformation, in that lives are transformed. That's why I'm here. That's why I was called here and brought here, because I believe it's possible. Namaste.
I thought I would tell you a little bit about this song. Nature is my spiritual strength, so this song is about the wind, but it's much more than the wind. It's about radical renewal that Rev Sheree is always telling us about. So when one activity or job ends, there's a chance to go into your next activity or job, and I want that to matter. And I want to have the courage to be able to choose something that might seem difficult or maybe impossible, and for it to be aligned with spiritual values. So that's what this song is about.
Let the wind blow toward me a new voice. Let the wind come carry me on. Let the wind blow toward me my courage. Let the wind come carry me on.
waiting for me. Open my heart, let my love be big as the world. Now I walk my journey with joy. Let the wind blow toward me my purpose. Let the wind come carry me on. Let the wind blow toward me a new dream. Let the wind come carry me home. Let the wind blow toward me. A new step is waiting, a new dream. Open my heart, let my love be big as the world.
So if you're ready, allow your spine to be erect. Have your feet down on Mother Earth, grounding in. Let's take that nice deep breath in together through your heart space and exhaling through your heart space. Again, nice deep breath in through your heart space and exhale through your heart space. Follow the breath and allow something that makes you joyous to come to mind. Maybe it's your fur baby, maybe it's a sunset, maybe it's the ocean, maybe it's beautiful mountains, maybe it's the love of your life or your new grandbaby. Continue to follow your breath in through the heart and exhaling through the heart. Feel yourself go into coherence, mind, emotions, body, heart, all in alignment, vibing in the frequency of love. And if you're willing, say these words after me. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Continue to breathe through your heart space. Bring someone to mind that you love and repeat after me. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. And may you be happy. Follow your breath. energy of love pouring out to everyone around you, out in the community, as far as your feelings of love can reach. And say this after me. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. Breathe through your heart center. This is the truth of who you are. Say after me. I am filled with loving kindness. I am well. I am peaceful and at ease. I am happy. Breathe. Imagine you're giving yourself permission to love all of the emotions that you feel. What would that look like? How would you be in the world without judging yourself and your emotions as wrong? Visualize. How would you walk in the world if all of your emotions were acceptable to you? So let's take a moment in the silence. At the sound of my voice, bring your awareness back to this moment, to this time. Feel the bench or chair beneath you. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in through your heart chakra and out. Maybe wiggle your toes. Flutter your eyes. Be here now. You beautiful lights. Namaste.
Sheree, as we come into the time of our service for our offering, after sitting in this service, it's a thought that comes to my mind is that we got a really good thing going on around here. I mean, Susan wrote that song that they sang last time. Did you know that? Did you read that up on the board? That's some talent that's in this congregation. We have Reverend Sheree as our leader, and that's a blessing. So everything that's under this dome is blessed, and that includes each and every one of you. And it's time now to give of that blessing so that we can continue to keep blessing each other. Amen? So as the ushers come forward, it's time for our offering, and there are multiple ways to give. You can give via a check. You can give via cash. You can Venmo, Cash App, swipe your card. You can phone tap on the QR code. Basically, give, because there are so many ways to do so. Amen? Amen. And we want you to give with joy and love and an energy that comes forward and then goes out those doors to this community that we all love and are a part of. So let's say our blessing, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
Oh,
this road, leave my body, and the pain just won't leave my soul. I get on my knees and say, Spirit, please, there's a blessing in the storm. Help me sing, yes, there's a blessing in the storm. When I cannot seem to love again, and the raindrops won't ever end. If you just hold on, those clouds will soon be gone. There's a blessing in the storm. Help me sing it. There's a blessing in the storm. The storm. The storm. The storm. When I cannot see to love again, and the raindrops won't ever end. If you just hold on, those clouds will soon be gone. There's a blessing in the storm. Help me sing it. There's a blessing in the storm. Help me sing it. There's a blessing in the storm.
Hi, Michelle. I want you to know what we do with these. Yes, we use a lot of it for our operations, but we now do 10% tithing out into the community. So for all these gifts, for the good that it does within and without, we know there's only oneness. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a couple closing announcements. We have a wonderful opportunity for y'all to connect one-on-one with our praying chaplains following the service in the chapel, if everyone knows where that is. Or you can go online to our Silent Unity. A pre-recorded message will guide you through a series of prompts that enable you to choose the type of prayer interaction that you like. Our season of Radical Renewal Masquerade Gala fundraiser is coming just when you thought it was safe to go out without a mask. Our season of Radical Renewal is in full swing, and we're beyond excited about the Masquerade Gala fundraiser event. We are currently offering an early bird special on Gala tickets. You can purchase 2 tickets for $50 until September 18th. Then the ticket prices will be $30 per ticket after that, so take advantage of this opportunity till the 18th. We're also in need of auction items, both for our silent and live auction. Popular auction items are typically gift certificates and experiential items like private plane rides, Airbnb stays. So if you're interested in donating, please go to our website at unityhills.org. There's a special tab called Gala 2022, and you can get all the information there. We have a spectacular evening of food, fun, fundraising, and fellowship. So we can't wait to see you on October 30th, and bring your mask. Inspiration Choir is back. And I know they've been practicing hard for y'all, so they are ready to share their angelic voices with you. So join us during next Sunday, the 18th, when Inspiration will be featured as our musical guest. Rest assured you will not be disappointed. So join us next Sunday and get a little inspiration. And finally, next Sunday, find hope again. Sometimes it's easy to lose hope when we look around at the chaos in the world, but you have the power to engage with the world in a new way that supports us in finding hope again. Reverend Sheree will talk about shifting your despair to joy at our service at 11:25. So thank you all for being here.
You can see why I love our team. They're just fabulous and creative and fun. So are you ready to close out with a prayer for protection? Okay, let's do this together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.